Hello, my name is Austin Lehman, and welcome to the next edition of Austin Weekend. Here is Dad. And today, we got a special treat for you.
Yes, we've waited our whole lives for Marvel to finally get its hands on this character. Spider-Man Homecoming.
And it couldn't have a more appropriate title.
Yes, because it's finally coming home to Marvel. Sony still got its clutches on it too.
But
Marvel's finally got some creative juices, some creative control over that character.
And it definitely shows.
It definitely shows. Yeah.
Now, try to explain the plot of this movie.
So this isn't another origin story. Thank gosh.
Yeah.
Another origin story. I know that I do like origin stories, but this sort of takes in line. Everybody at this point has watched Winter Soldier and saw that Iron Man went into the city and got Peter Parker or Spider-Man. And
you're talking about Civil War.
Civil War, yeah, not Winter Soldier. Well, Civil War. Civil War, that where he went and got Spider-Man and brought him back, and they all had the big battle on the airfield,
which was pretty fun to watch.
Which was pretty fun to watch. That was a pretty epic battle there. But this takes place almost exactly after that movie ends. Is where the Spider-Man takes up. It shows the young Peter Parker. In this movie, by the way, he's 15 years old. If you were just curious how old Spider-Man was in the new Marvel timeline, he's 15. He's in high school. So this takes place right after the Civil War, and it's showing how Peter Parker's life has changed.
And if you've seen the trailer, you've seen that Iron Man was backing him the whole movie.
Iron Man is sort of his protege, his teacher, his backer. He let him keep the suit from the Civil War movie. So he's got the high-tech suit that he's got to play with now.
And it's probably the most advanced Spider-Man suit to ever be gracing our eyes.
Yeah, it's almost like well, everybody knows the Iron Spider story, but it's not the Iron Spider story. But the Spider-Man suit is high-tech. It's got a lot of tech to it. So we want to tell you all the tech that it's got, because that's some of the fun part of watching the movie, is seeing everything that he can do with this movie now, with this suit now and everything.
And also from the trailers, it's interesting to see this movie set in half of it being in high school and then half of it being fighting crime.
Yeah. So he's in high school, got a crush on the girl, and it's telling the story of the crush on the girl and how he's trying to impress the girl.
Sometimes
he's got a best bud,
yes,
who is a good comedy relief character, and everybody saw in the previews that he sees that Parker Spider-Man. You're crawling on to see him, man. And so he finds out that he's Spider-Man, his best bud, and the comedy ensues from that. But there's also adventure ensues from that also. So it's basically the story of Spider-Man coming into his own. It's not an origin story, but it tells how Spider-Man becomes
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
It shows him mature.
The real character, yeah.
It shows him mature through the movie.
Yeah.
Trying to make the best decisions. Trying not to screw up.
Trying to make the best decisions a 15-year-old teenager can. So, but it's fun. It's funny.
Well, speaking of funny, probably... It's not as funny as Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a laugh riot.
Guardians of the Galaxy depends on comedy. That's one of the things of that movie series.
And the second movie was a laugh riot.
It was really good, yeah. But Spider-Man's still funny. They've got some comedy. Of course, Iron Man's always got that quick wit. So the scenes that he's in there, he's always throwing out some sarcastic wit,
Yeah.
So
I like wit in my superheroes.
I do too. I like that little bit of attitude, a little bit of wit with them, yeah. And Iron Man's always got that, so he's fun.
Do you know what else I also find funny? The director of this movie's name is John Watts.
John Watts.
What's he talking about?
What's he talking about? Oh, hey, and one of the bad guys' names is Shocker. So the director's name's Watts, and we've got somebody that shocks somebody. So hey,
Yeah, that's pretty ironic.
that's pretty ironic, isn't it? Yeah. So so it's good. What do you think about the villains in it?
The villains seem more threatening than the last two attempts at trying to reboot Spider-Man into his own movie series.
Yeah, of course, everybody's seen the previews, and we know that the main villain is Vulture, which is played by Batman. I'm just kidding. You know, everybody knows the first Batman movie was played by the same guy who played the Vulture in this one. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah. So he went from being Batman to a bad guy against Spider-Man. So he jumped from DC he jumped from DC to Marvel, which made it fun. But I think he played a really good character.
He felt threatening, and anyone that got in his way was gonna get a little face full of his own vengeance.
Yeah. So yeah, he didn't care to do what he did. He was sort of proud of what he did. Again, we won't tell you the whole storyline on it.
No, we won't. That is
No.
our policy.
No.
No spoilers.
We try to go no spoilers, so we just try to tell you how good the movie is. If there's good parts, if there's bad parts. This movie sort of, it's again about a 2 hour and 15-minute movie or something like that. What is it?
According to this, it says the runtime is 133 minutes, so it's
130.
over 2 hours.
So it's like 2 hours and 11 minutes. It feels like an hour-long movie. It keeps you entertained the whole 2 hours.
It doesn't feel boring at all.
So you're not sitting there going, man, this is a minute long movie. No, it's over and you're going, oh man, I might see a little bit more of that. So it was good. It kept me entertained. What do you think about the characters?
Well, I can safely say that if the characters aren't the strongest point in this movie, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, there are good, strong characters. Spider-Man plays a good 15-year-old Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Yes.
Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm. Even though he's actually 21.
Which is pretty weird.
But he's definitely got a baby face because he plays a 15-year-old teenager really well. In his mannerisms, too, he plays a good teenager. So the characters the characters are played well. The bad guys and the good guys.
Is it me or is it Marvel trying to find great actors underneath the barrel of people don't even know who they are, and then once they get in the Marvel role, boom in popularity.
Boom in popularity. Yeah, I like the fact that you don't try to bring already famous people in to make a movie. You don't need famous people to make Marvel. Marvel's Marvel.
Yeah.
You don't need a famous person to make Spider-Man. Spider-Man makes the person.
Yes. That's the point.
Yeah. So I like the fact that they're not bringing in superstars in all of these films.
Well, Chris Pratt already had a role, so.
But Chris Pratt wasn't a superstar. I mean, he was a TV star a little bit. So the Guardians of the Galaxy was his first major role, and he nailed it.
Shined.
And he shined, and now he's the dinosaur whisperer too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I know Marvel knocked it out of the park again. Crack. They hit it good. Yeah. This Spider-Man's a pretty good movie.
Well, we recommend you watch this movie now.
Yes, it does get the stamp of approval. You want to go ahead and do some rating on it?
And we start from 1.
Yes, we start from 1 being crap.
Which
2.
is completely awful.
And 10 being
the best
movies, the best thing that could ever be made. And again, we don't use...
And those don't come around very often.
No. I don't. We've never had a 10. We've had some 9.8s. It's 9.9.
We've actually had a couple 10s before, but they were really rare and far between.
Not that often. Yeah. And like I said, we don't use stars to rate them either.
Typical critic stuff.
We try to pull something from the movie to rate it with, like the Kung Fu Panda loved dumplings, so we use dumplings.
Dumpling time.
So Kung Fu Panda loved dumplings. We use dumplings to rate that movie. What do you want to use out of Spider-Man? You want to use web shooters?
Oh, why not?
I like the web. Okay. So one web shooter being crappy, because you can't do anything with one web shooter.
It's probably an empty web shooter.
Right, empty. The cartridge is empty because this Spider-Man doesn't make his own web. He uses cartridges. So now 10 web shooters being awesome.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. How many web shooters do you give Spider-Man Homecoming?
Oh man, I couldn't. Ugh. This is a tough one to really grade. Not because it's a hard movie to review at all. It's a great movie. I'm just having a hard time trying to get a rating down.
You know, it's directed sort of towards teenagers because it is a teenage Spider-Man movie, but it does have Iron Man and it does have a really good villain. I would probably give it like 9.3.
Yeah, that's where I was aiming towards.
Yeah, 9.2 to 9.3, 9.2 and a half, something like that. But it was a really good movie. I do recommend it. It does get
The all seal of approval, like we mentioned earlier.
it is awe-inspiring. So it is worth the $10, $15 that you spend to go out. We watched it in IMAX, which was really good.
It was fun.
Really good in IMAX. So other than that, I think we're done. Be sure and hit the like button.
Hit the
Hit the subscribe button.
Hit the groovy
Hit
baby
the,
button.
there'll be a Groovy Baby button come up towards the end of the video, so wait till the last 10 seconds or something and hit the Groovy Baby button. But we've got a lot of stuff coming up. Check us out.
See you next week.
See you next week.